And we have an even dozen on the track.
Charlotte Bednar and that outside wave really making an early statement, trying to get out to the lead on the waterfall start.
Yeah, you don't see that too much, working that hard to want to get to the rail in a 2 or a 5K or something, but that's the situation. And there's our 1-2 runners.
Yeah.
Sydney Thorvaldson wearing number 1, Audrey Dodamio
This first
number 2.
split's going to be just ridiculous. 36 seconds.
And that's exactly the mindset she had in Terre Haute, just taking off.
This looks already, right from the get-go, like she wants it. She wants 9:38. It's like she's staring it down. She's not even waiting for Audrey. She doesn't even want to feel her off of her hip. Sydney, almost immediately within 2 laps, is already like throwing down the hammer.
Is she running the half here? That's what it looks like. All right, going through the 880 in 68.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And it's hard not to say that she has overcooked it, but it's so hard to, if you realize when you put yourself out there, you see a number on the board, it's like, okay, now what do I do? You are committed. You know, there's no coming back from it.
No. For any other athlete, I think you could worry a little bit on the pace, but she's proven time and again that you can't doubt her.
Again, she is U.S. number 2 all time with that 9:47. And in history, only 9 times has a sub-10 been run coming into this season. So we got 2 this year, so it's 11 ever.
The one corollary to this is, seeing Sydney go out so fast. It almost, you look at the second pack right now, Audrey looks like she's extending a little bit too. Charlotte Bednar, they're actually being pulled along even in that second pack right now.
Yeah, because they know there's a quality athlete out in front of them, so it's not somebody who's just going to crumble under the pressure, under the pace.
You almost never see within 3 laps a margin extending, the line extending this far. The gaps between runner to runner. Even in the first heat, it was tightly wound. And from here, the first 6 girls are meters from one another.
Yeah, 5 seconds the gap between first and second off a 2:18 opening half.
Oh, man. Sydney is just a pleasure to watch, I think, run. And I know, college coaches are probably watching this, looking at Sydney like, oh, my goodness. Like, will I have to face this girl at some point at the NCAA level, cross-country, indoor track, outdoor track? Arkansas is probably just rubbing their hands together like, we got something special.
She is definitely taking no prisoners. She is just out there just trying to run a hole into this track is what it looks like.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if she goes, she's certainly going under 5 for the first mile here, but I'll be interested to see just how she comes through. And the one thing I think I always hear from everyone watching Sydney is just how, form-wise, she just looks perfect almost. The form, the cadence, the stride. Very little you have to do, I think, work-wise with her to improve or get more out of her.
3:30 to 3:31 through 3 quarters. So again, it was 68, 218, and we'll give her credit for a 3:30, so a 72. So she's going 68, 70, 72. Seven laps in the books. The gap between first and second, Thorvaldson and Dodamio, about 8 seconds right now.
Now, for Sydney Thorvaldson, someone who's won 31 straight races, the one benefit of running by yourself right now at this elite level is that you are confident that you can do it. You've done it multiple times, and this is nothing new to you. You often hear athletes, it's harder when I'm running by myself. But for someone like Sydney, she's built like this, and she's done it all of her life almost. So I don't think this is a stress for her. She actually welcomes it.
4:47.
And that is amazing. Are we on record pace right now for 9:38?
Sure are. We are under at 9:34 if she throws 2 together. Wow.
At this point, we're just going to have fingers crossed for Sydney Thorvaldson.
4:47 opening mile for the number 1 seed, the number 2 all-time performer in the girls 2-mile indoors. A winner everywhere, as Corey said, for the last 31 races.
Hasn't lost since the 2019 cross-country season, where she almost scored an upset on Caitlin Toohey at Nike Cross Nationals. She's been on fire for largely 2 straight years, and she missed the whole season due to COVID.
And some motivation and also barriers ahead of her. Some of the lap traffic that she's going to encounter. Do they sort of give her some leeway and give up the rail? Might not, because they're all running for a national championship placing. But she's going to encounter a number of those runners, including 6 within a straightaway.
So a little on some of the backstories behind her. Audrey Didamio is certainly on pace for a sub-10 as well. She's running by herself and chasing Sydney. She looks really, really strong right now. And even in that third pack, Ava Parekh, Charlotte Bednar, I think they look really, really good. Jenna Mulhern, they all look pretty confident right now.
6 minutes and 27 seconds have elapsed, and that entire time, Sydney Thorvaldson has been in control of this race. This is heat number 3, the hot heat of the girls 2-mile championship of the Adidas Indoor Nationals. She's coming up to the line with 1,000 meters left at 6:43.
Now, if you look at her right now, it seems like it's getting a little hard. Obviously, she's got 5 laps to go, 1,000 meters. This is where she really has to dig in. She really has to focus, because she set such an early precedent. Now it's about finishing the race, and I think as long as she focuses and digs in, I think she's there.
As long as she doesn't have to go too wide, I don't think it's going to hurt her whether she gets some of these back markers on the turns or in the straightaway. As long as she can just go out at the edge of lane 1, as she's coming up a half mile remaining at 7:20.
If I'm an athlete at this point, I'm giving her the inside lane, because, I'm part of something special potentially.
Right.
Obviously that's not how we think when we're competing, but, we're watching it from up top.
Again, a 4:47 opening mile.
Ava Parekh leading that third group right now. Charlotte Bednar, Josephine Whalen, all looking pretty strong. They are going to probably be, mid-10s, even low 10s at this point.
And here's some lap traffic. 3 laps to go for our leader, Sydney Thorvaldson.
She definitely needs to start moving, I think. Just maintain, right? She has quick turnover. She has a really good cadence. Some of that traffic might be difficult, but I think we're going to see something special here, because once she sees that clock with 2 laps to go, I think she's going to hammer down.
Audrey Didamio now about 17 seconds back. She's got the luxury. She's checking her watch, so she is definitely dialed into the numbers to try to keep her on goal pace. Quarter mile left for our leader, and our everything so far in this 2 miles. Sydney Thorvaldson, 8:40.
Ooh, it is definitely going to be close. She definitely needs to start turning over a little bit.
And that 4:47 first mile just really, she put herself out there.
Yeah.
She really went after it. There was no doubt.
I don't think we've ever seen a girl unlike or kind of try that other than Caitlin Toohey. Caitlin Toohey is in another stratosphere at that high school level before she graduated. Sydney's definitely in the same category.
Coming up, Bell Lab. Everyone else except a handful are behind her in lap. Sydney Thorvaldson at 9:18.
She's going to have to turn it over at this point. And I think Didamio is going to be fighting for a sub-10 too, really, but she's got to start going as well.
Down the back straightaway, Sydney Thorvaldson. Didamio is 17 seconds behind.
100 to go for Thorvaldson, really. And here she's starting to turn it over.
She'll be in the 9:50 range. Again, that 4:47 just definitely took it out of her legs in the second half, but an incredible performance. 9:55. 9:09 for Sydney Thorvaldson. And Audrey D'Adamio is going to be just a little bit over 10. And through the line in second, there's Audrey.
Ava Parekh really finished this race really, really strong. Josephine Whalen in fourth, and now Charlotte Bednar coming to the line for fifth.
So 10, 11, 14 for Audrey D'Adamio in second. And we discussed and, took our guesses of how this race would develop. The 4:47 really sort of just blew everything up. You talk about a performance that just blows everything apart.
Yeah.
And that did that. So that put, more pressure on Audrey D'Adamio to figure out, okay, now where do I go? Because I've let her go.
Right.
I got to work this. I got to maybe stay dialed into the watch.
Yeah, you come in here with a race plan and you think you're going to run a certain way, and then sometimes it just, goes out the window the moment you start the race and somebody else sort of dictates it. I think that might have been what happened to some of these girls who were forced to run a different way. But, that's what happens sometimes in these big races. One note for Sydney Thorvaldson 9:55, I don't know if we've ever seen, or very few girls have broken 10 for 2 miles. In high school history, very few. 9:47 now and 9:55 in one indoor season for Sydney Thorvaldson at this distance.